I thought a lot about this too, because I ate a lot of food back in the day. But you know what? I'm almost of the belief that I don't necessarily know if the drugs and the food ruin their waistline as much as Father Time did and genetics. Because, in order to get that big, okay, I'm not going to use myself as an example because I wasn't a pro. Let's use Ronnie Coleman as an example. Ronnie was eating an enormous amount of food and training with enormously heavy weights. And his waistline was great. His body looked great, okay? And what people don't realize is that he won his first Olympia. He was in his early 30s. He wasn't young. So by the time he got toward the end of his reign, he was already in the 40s, And when you get to that, late 30s, 40s, things start to, you lose the elasticity of the fascia around your abdominal area, whether you eat a lot of food or whether you train really heavy or not, okay? Look at Flex Wheeler. He still has a really tiny waist. He always ate a lot of food and trained heavy. He was big, for his frame, he was huge. He was like 260 on stage, so toward the end of his career, and he turned pro at 218. So, and his waistline didn't look bad to me. So I think what happens is, your genetic structure is your genetic structure, and as you get older, it deteriorates and breaks down a little bit, and you lose the elasticity of your skin, and the fascial sheaths that surround the muscles stretch out. And I don't necessarily think it's a drug issue, because I see when guys go off drugs, it kind of reverses. Like, I had a lot of problems with distension because I had a very short torso in my midsection. And my waist is small now, and my stomach's flat, So I reversed it somehow, and I don't have loose skin on my abdominal area. So I don't buy into that. I think it's just genetics at a certain level. Your body can only handle. I wouldn't say, my body. I don't have the tightness of the skin that I had when I was younger, and I don't have this the kind of like that fresh-looking muscle that you see on like a Nick Walker. But age is what ravages us, really. And some guys age better than others. Dexter did a pretty good job aging, although his midsection also wasn't what it was. Phil Heath wasn't. And I don't think, Phil doesn't look like the kind of guy that was using a lot of performance-enhancing drugs. He wasn't a super heavy trainer. He wasn't an overeater. So, what happened to his waist? He just got older, and that's what happens, I think. And so, I think people just, they get carried away with the fact they want to blame something. Oh, yeah, he was a good champion, but he ruined himself. No, the guy won fucking 7 Olympias. Ronnie won 8 Olympias, They obviously had a lot of time during that reign that they looked amazing. That's why people don't last forever, Bodybuilding is a very short-lived sport. You can only have that peak look to your body with a good quality muscle before you start tearing things, and things you lose elasticity in your skin, and things just go wrong. I mean, that's just what happens, especially when you walk around at 300 pounds, all the time. It's a big strain on your body. So I think the answer to the question is that, I don't think that it's the drugs necessarily and the overeating and the food that did it as much as it is the person's genetics and old age.